Biggest disappointment that I had in the last 2 days were when we look at the politicians like Freeland, who's the finance minister, celebrating the rate cut by Bank of Canada. Celebrating, like she was congratulating Canadians that yes, it was like a Olympic win somehow, so we should celebrate that. Like, what the heck? Like, I was expecting some sort of sanity, some sort of financial sanity from the finance minister, but she completely showed a lack of financial education to begin with, to be honest. So when the politicians like her and other politicians celebrating the rate cuts, you know that they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay, so first of all, today we just got the unemployment data. Okay, that has gone up 6.2%. Unemployment data is picking up, guys, in Canada. And all the jobs that we added in last month, 27,000 jobs we added last month, they were all part-time jobs. All of them were part-time jobs. So there was no full-time jobs being added last month in Canada. Compared to US, they have overblown their job targets, their job expectations. So the US economy is booming. The business owners have a lot of confidence in the US economy to hire more people. Versus in Canada, if I'm the business owner and I see the economy is collapsing, I will not be investing anymore in terms of hiring people. And this is exactly what's happening in Canada. The private sector is not hiring anymore. And the jobs that we are seeing right now, they're all part-time jobs and mostly in service industries. Restaurants, retail, these kind of service industry jobs. So the professional level jobs like, lawyers and construction and engineering and manufacturing, we are not seeing that jobs anymore in Canada. Are you a non-US tax resident and looking to open a business in the US? Well, this video is very important for you, so watch it till the end. Basically, if you are a non-US tax resident, which means you don't have SSN, which is your tax identification number, which means when you open a bank account or you open a Stripe account or PayPal account or Amazon business account or any business account, you need your SSN number in order to open any of these accounts in the US. Well, if you are a non-US tax resident, which means you don't have SSN with you, you can have another identification which is called ITIN. So ITIN is similar 9-digit number which is used for tax purposes if you are a non-US tax resident. So whenever you apply for a business account or bank account or payment processing account like PayPal or Stripe or even Amazon FBA seller, or registering a business in the US, you can use ITIN instead of SSN. This will help you to set up all of these things even though you're not a US tax resident. So if you're in Canada, Latin America, Europe, UK, Australia, or anywhere in the world, you can apply for ITIN and you can use ITIN to register a business, open up the business accounts, open up the payment processing account in the US, and pretty much do all the tax related stuff using ITIN even though you don't have SSN. So how do you get that? Well, there are some companies available on the internet that will help you to get you the ITIN, but they may charge between $400 to $600 per application. We have a company called ITIN and they are one of the quickest in terms of submitting the application. So they will help you out in terms of collecting the documentation, help you out in terms of answering your questions, and help you out in terms of submitting the application. Now, the typical application process times takes between 4 to 14 weeks, but the ITIN people only take 48 hours to collect the information, help you out in the journey, submit your application, and from that point onwards, it's basically IRS. IRS can take between 2 to 12 weeks depending upon their volume of the applications, but throughout the process, they will handhold you in terms of opening up the accounts, help you to open up the FBA account or Stripe account or PayPal account, or guide you in terms of the entire process. They're pretty quick to respond. They have people speaking English and Spanish and Arabic, and they can give you very competitive rates as well. Plus, if you use my referral link, which will give you extra $50 discount when you purchase their services. So if you are looking to open a business in the US, start your journey today, apply for ITIN. Even though if you're not looking to open a business now, you should have ITIN just in case in the future, if you want to open a business, you're ready from tax standpoint. So check the link in the description below and let's get back to the video. So you have unemployment picking up. You have the jobs that are being added are all part-time service-based industries, and the employment that we are seeing is all going into the public sector. That means government is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at the same time, your politicians are congratulating you on rate cuts. Like, this is the peak of ridiculousness, guys. Okay, so let me tell you something. In the history, we have seen the rate cuts always happen because it was a reaction towards an economic crisis. If you check what happened in 2020, right, it was a reaction towards an economic crisis. That's why all the central banks cut their rates. Go back to 2008, it was a disaster happening in the global monetary system. So that's why the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Canada, and other central banks cut rates in order to react towards an economic crisis. Go back to the dot-com bubble. Go back to 1987, 1970s, 40s. All of these economic crises are showing you that all those rate hiking cycle followed by rate cuts is always because they were responding to an economic crisis. The soft landing scenario that they're selling you, it never happened in the history. Okay, this is all theoretical hypothesis that they're kind of thinking, okay, we can somehow land this plane, with a soft landing, with inflation coming down slowly, and we can gradually cut the rates down so that we have no economic crisis anymore, and we can somehow manage this whole thing very smoothly. Okay, this never happened, guys. This is all theoretical hypothesis. It never happened in the history, period. So I understand the realtors are going to use this as a tool to promote their real estate projects and pump the market, but I was not expecting anything from a finance minister. So if you are in that delusion that rate cuts is going to be a bullish signal for real estate market or the asset markets, it can be, but if history is the teacher, if we follow the history, we know that the rate cuts are always the reaction of a disaster. So if Bank of Canada and other central banks are trying to cut rates right now, which probably means that they are looking into the economy, they're looking into the data, and that is telling them that something is going to hit the fan. So before it gets further deteriorated, they should start cutting rates now. So I think that's really what I'm reading, that all those central banks are now start cutting rates because they're seeing that the stuff is going to hit the fan. We have unemployment going up. We have the economic contraction happening. The whole GDP thing is all spending. But if you measure this on GDP per capita, you are basically going down. We are adding more people in this country. We're not adding enough jobs to compensate them. And all of those jobs are actually part-time jobs. You know exactly where we're going. We are going towards an economic crisis. And this always happens like slowly, and then suddenly. Okay, that's how things happen. Recession never happens when everybody is expecting. It happens when everybody is least expecting, and then you get the punch of Mike Tyson right on your face because everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Anyways, I just wanted to clarify these things. I just wanted to give you a real sense of what's happening in the macroeconomic world, because a lot of insanity that I'm seeing right now in Twitter, that every single realtor, some financial professional, mortgage brokers are using this as a bullish signal that this will happen, and now this is going to create some sort of a bull sentiment in the market. I don't think so this is happening. The inventory is right now going up in GTA. So we're seeing a record level of inventory happening in the GTA right now. It seems like the sellers were actually waiting for that to happen. So the sellers were waiting to rate cuts to happen so that they can offload their inventory. Now we have to see whether the buyers are sharing the same sentiment. If not, then we will see a price correction because the inventory is piling up. And if you don't have enough buyers to absorb that inventory, guess what? The prices will go down. So if you are looking to make a purchase, just make sure that you have covered your grounds. Don't go YOLO. This is not the time to go YOLO, guys. Unemployment is going up. God forbid, if you lose your job in this economic crisis, you are screwed. Okay? So don't go YOLO. Make sure you cover your grounds. Things are not looking as bullish as people are kind of telling you on the social media. Anyway, if you have any questions, put your comments down below. Let me know what you think about that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and check the links below in the description. There are some free credits available for you if you want to start investing or need any consulting advice from an accountant for tax purposes. Then check the links below and let me know what you think about that. And I'll see you in the next video. If you are an investor in the US, in Canada, or in Europe, and you are considering investing into Dubai real estate market, this video is for you, because we have a platform called Stake, which allows you to invest into the residential real estate market and start earning rental income right away without going through a lengthy documentation process or coming up with a heavy down payment. Stake is built upon the concept of crowdfunding. So it is democratizing the entire investment strategy and allows you to own a single unit of the entire investment portfolio. So you don't have to own the entire property, right? You can be part of the pool that can actually own a piece of property, a piece of real estate. So that allows you to start with as low as 2,000 dirhams, and you can slowly ramp up. So as you start investing into it, you can not only own a bit of real estate, but you also get a portion of the rental income on monthly basis. So it's a passive investment strategy, diversifying your portfolio from traditional North American or European markets into Dubai, which is hustling and bustling and growing very fast, and allows you to build your wealth over time. So don't delay. There is a link down there in the description. If you click on this, it will give you free 200 dirhams in your account right away to start with, and you can thank me later.